Why in the world do DoorDash customers think that it's okay to not put on their porch lights if they order from DoorDash at night and they know their food and Dasher is coming to their front porch? Have you experienced this? I have to say, this is one of my major issues I run into every night that I'm out delivering. It has become such a huge pet peeve of mine. Why? Because I've come so close so many times to tripping and falling, and I have personally been injured because a customer thought it was okay to not put on their lights for me. It is a major risk we all take delivering at night. But should it even be a risk at all if the customer would just leave their lights on, right? Today, let's go over the real of delivering to a dark house at night. Why is this such a major risk and safety issue? And stick around because you might not think there is anything you can do about it, but there is. Let's talk about the real of delivering at night to a dark house as a dasher. It's just annoying as all heck, right? So, what I don't understand is DoorDash does send alerts out to customers saying that their dasher is on their way and to ensure that their porch lights are on. So, believe it or not, DoorDash does do their job to alert the customer. The customer is the ones who choose not to put on their lights to their house. And then you have us that are trying to fumble through sidewalks that could be uneven. There was one time during the summer a couple of years ago that someone had an Adirondack chair smack in the middle of their walkway, and I almost went tumbling over it. There are so many things that can go wrong in the delivery just because you deliver in the dark, unfortunately. And I feel like it happens a lot more than what we even think about. For me, it happens honestly one, sometimes two, sometimes three times a night. And every time I pull up to a house and they don't have lights on, I'm like, it's almost like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, trying to figure out what house it belongs to. It's almost a joke, an ongoing joke with myself that it's probably the house that doesn't have the lights on that I am delivering to, because that's how big of a problem it has always been. But I feel like lately I'm seeing it more and more. I don't know. What do you think? Have you been seeing a lot more houses that don't turn on the lights for their dashers? The one thing that I question every single time, and this kind of goes hand in hand with sidewalks that aren't shoveled during major snowstorms or bad weather. Aren't homeowners at all concerned with someone suing them if someone falls, breaks something, damages their own property? I am a homeowner. I am so cautious about the way that my property is presented if I ever do a delivery, because I ensure the safety, because I'm ensuring myself as a homeowner that nothing bad happens. I honestly, I just don't get the concept. The bottom line is the customer wants what they want at any cost. Well, in this case, the cost is the driver not being able to deliver to the right address and also possibly being injured by trips, falls, and God only knows what else in the dark. You know, there was one time I pulled up to a house, and this was probably a year or so ago, but it was so dark, it looked like a scene from a horror picture, because not only were there no porch lights on, there were no lights on in the house, period. It made me question, I'm like, am I really at the right location? Because this person knows that their order is coming, but there's no lights on, like anybody is living in the house. It honestly made me a little nervous, I have to say. But there was also one time that they did not leave any lights on, and the crack in the sidewalk was probably about this big. And I did not notice it. And what do? I completely trip up the sidewalk. I literally face planted, literally right in the concrete. Injuries do happen. It could have been a lot worse. I could have had a broken hand. I could have had a broken wrist. I could have broken a leg. That's where it all comes from. So, which brings me to the safety of delivering at night to these houses that don't have porch lights on. Why is this such a huge safety issue? Honestly, you can seriously injure yourself. Have you ever been injured by doing one of these nighttime deliveries? I just shared my story, but trips, falls, falling up the stairs, it's a thing. It happens. It happens to some of us on a good day. One time I was doing a shopping delivery and I literally tripped over my own 2 feet. It wasn't the customer's fault. It was all mine, but it does happen. But have that in the dark and you can't see in front of you, like that's even a bigger issue. I mean, we can talk about personal safety. I mean, without any lights on, you don't know what's lurking behind any bushes. You can always look around and, know your surroundings, but you can't prevent anything bad or bad intentions from somebody who might be delivering on purpose to take advantage of the dasher that's coming to the house. I mean, we see, carjackings happening all the time. We see delivery drivers being snatched into people's homes. Like, it definitely is a huge safety risk and factor when you're going to deliver to some of these properties. And here's another thing, if you get the address wrong because they don't even have a house number on a dark house, that's another issue all in itself. But by not delivering it to the right address, then the next thing you know, you're slapped with a contract violation because the customer reported that it wasn't delivered. So then whose fault is it then? It's always the driver's fault. It's never the customer's fault. But here's a conspiracy theory. Maybe the customer wants you to deliver it to the wrong address, hoping they won't get it delivered so they can report it missing. Everybody's out for something. In this case, the customer can be out for something for free. They just got a free meal out of your expense from delivering in the dark. Thing is, what I've learned over the years of doing this, customers just don't care. They only care about getting their food. Us dashers, we're just the person that brings it to their door. They don't care that their lights are on. They care that their food arrives at their door. Well, what happens if the person falls on their food, smashes their food, and then, hey, their food never got delivered because you didn't leave the porch light on? As a dasher, if you can relate to this at all and have experience for yourself, customers not putting on their porch lights, I need you to do me a favor, and I need you to hit that thumbs up button right on the bottom. So what can you do about it as a driver? Well, there's a couple things you can do besides forcing the customer to put on their lights. That's just not going to happen, but you can buy a huge flashlight. I personally don't have one. I have one on my keychain always, but I've heard of dashers actually getting massive flashlights for delivery, and it has really helped them out. I personally, a lot of times, use the flashlight on my phone. Man, that's a powerful flashlight if you ever use it, but that's usually my go-to. Or if I'm delivering and it's a leave at door, you can actually put the flash of the photo on, and that's really good light as well. Whatever you need to do as far as lighting is concerned, do it in the winter. This is my favorite thing ever. I got a beanie that actually has an LED light up top, and I use it all the time in the winter because that's when you experience a lot of lights not being left on. If the customer has no lights on and has no house numbers, easy thing to do is whatever GPS you are using. Typically, you can count the house numbers from whatever corner or whatever cross street that you are coming across. So if I'm on a cross street and my customer's houses are 4 houses in on the left, from the corner, I can count 4 houses and know that I hopefully arrived at the right location. When in doubt, I always compare GPS to the map that's on DoorDash or vice versa. If you are using in-app navigation, I always use Apple Maps, Google Maps, just to ensure I am at the right house as well. So double check yourself when it comes to that. You can always call the customer. I'll be honest, I've done this many times, especially late at night, because they know that they're getting their order and they order it. Of course, they can always not answer the phone. They can always not answer a text. That is definitely a possibility. But if I can't find the house, you know what? They are getting a phone call from me. I don't care what time of night it actually is. They're the ones who ordered it. And then lastly, if you truly feel unsafe, partner with support immediately. If you feel like you are being in harm's way, if you feel you have that intuition that something is just not right, guys, don't deliver it and call support immediately. No delivery is worth safety or your well-being as a dasher. Stay safe out there. That's what it's all about. Hopefully, these tips will help you get them delivered during these dark circumstances and you can remain safe and go on to your next order. So, what are your experiences with delivering at nighttime? Do you come across a lot of houses that don't have lights on? Have you ever been hurt or tripped and fall because of this as well? Be safe out there, guys. Always be safe delivering and take care of yourself. If you are looking for more DoorDash content, I just did a video on what DoorDash needs to improve on immediately. Well, you're going to want to check this one out next, and I'll see you over there.